Welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on WakeUpCallDT.com, as well as on Facebook Live on Facebook.com/LiveNowDT, Facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, and on YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT. And of course, for those of you on MixLR, you could find us there as well. Mix Live Radio, MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT. So however you're connecting with the show, we appreciate you being here inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. Cafe Kubal there for you on 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, 208 North Townsend Street, and 401 South Salina Street in Syracuse, as well as inside of Golisano's Children's Hospital and their newest location at 343 Fayette Street in Manlius. And I can also say newest location coming to you in their first ever drive-through, which is not too far away from CNS, that you can find on Route 11, and very excited about that, right at the Sweetheart Corners, right there by the old Sweetheart Market. So very excited to have that happening for us. You can see I'm not in studio alone inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. I have Ricky Reilly hanging out with us here. Ricky and I got to do a show a couple years ago at Chick-fil-A Cicero when he was a part of the CNS hockey team. And now we could talk about CNS. We could also talk about the Cicero Chill. And of course, we'll be doing the Ingredients to Success, proudly presented by Avicoli's on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, bringing you that every Tuesday to round out the show. So inside of Ma and Pa's Popcorn.com is what's poppin'. We have a jam-packed show that will feature through the entirety Mr. Ricky Reilly. So Ricky, welcome to the broadcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be on here, and it seems like we got a good episode for today.
Yeah, and I'm excited about the fact that you and I, when we met, I just really appreciated your personality. I really liked the human being that you are, that you've chosen to be. And so, it's been a couple of years, but I think it's really cool to have you in studio, not just to have you on the phone. So thanks for coming out.
Yeah, no, for sure. I appreciate that. Life's all about what you make it. So it's having the right attitude, and that's how you get through. So I'm happy to be here and excited for a good episode.
Yeah, so Ricky Reilly, we started talking. The first time that we spoke was when you were part of the CNS hockey team there, and with Dan Jones, and we were out at Chick-fil-A Cicero doing the event at 7916 Brewerton Rd in Cicero. Shout out to a very proud partner in Chick-fil-A Cicero, and to Jimmer Sikowski. What did you take away from that day? When you think back a couple of years ago, what do you remember?
I remember, all the players there, we were all captains. Josh Matiasik was the captain, and then the two assistant captains were Matt Kramer and myself. So, it was really about leadership, and I think that's kind of what today is going to be based off of, too, with some of the talk. And, I've always tried to be the leader wherever I am, whether I'm the younger guy, the older guy, someone who I'm looking up to, or people are looking up to me. It's, you can always be a leader. You can always be the positive reinforcement on everyone. So, that's really what I look back to. I remember it was a fun time with the questions, and that was my first time, being on like a talk show and stuff like that. And I really liked it, and I'm glad I'm back. So
I'm happy to have you here, and
Yeah.
I'm happy we got to be your first talk show. Hopefully it was good.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun. It was a good experience. You gave us a run for our money, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think you guys gave it right back in rapid fire, which we will play today.
Awesome.
With Ricky.
Awesome.
So, Ricky, for you, speak on, kind of going back, because we got to, when I talked to all of you gentlemen, I got to spend, a few minutes at a time, but now it's you and I, to really break it down more. What made you fall in love with hockey?
I grew up around it. With the local Syracuse Crunch hockey team, who, I'm blessed to have a, connection with, and, I worked with them for the past few years and helping out them. But, back when I was little, I always loved ice skating. I loved, being around the game, and, it's a physical, fast game, and, what's there not to love about hockey? So, just the resources around me, having Cicero Twin Rinks nearby, and, when I was a little kid, I knew how much it, meant to me to have someone there for me and, teach the game to me and stuff like that. So that's what I'm looking to be in coaching now. So.
Yeah, and we'll talk about, obviously your connection with coaching now and what you're trying to do. When did you start playing?
I started playing 10th grade.
Okay.
So I was always around it. Always loved ice skating. I played some different sports like up to hockey.
What were those?
I played lacrosse for
Okay.
a majority. I played baseball before lacrosse, but I feel like little league's kind of just one of those things everyone goes through, and I loved that. But then I found lacrosse, loved that, and lacrosse and hockey. I feel like those two are kind of similar with the fast pace and stuff like that. So, big sports guy. Love being on a team, and so now yeah, I'm glad I got into hockey when I did because now I have opportunities because of it. So.
And giving you an opportunity, what can you say to that? Because I feel that, in the world we live in, people are not always treated equally or
Yeah,
fairly.
yeah, for sure.
What can you say about, CNS giving you, and for people that don't know, what do you consider to be a respectful terminology to it? Because I think everybody,
Yeah, so little person.
yeah,
Little person's, kind of what I am, and obviously I'm the little guy around here, and I'm shorter and in height, and in sports I've never let that get to me, and obviously first impressions are different. Some people love it, some people kind of shy away because of it. So it's all about what I do and my personality, and that goes back to what I said a few minutes ago. Is life's all about what you make it. So
yeah.
you can sit there and feel sorry for yourself, or you can sit there and find what's next, what opportunity is going to take you the farthest. And so the coaches at CNS have always been great. Dan Jones, I had played a year before he came in, and he when he came in, first off, what he did was we talked, and he said, listen, I'm gonna give you this opportunity, and we'll see what comes of it. And obviously I didn't play a ton, but I got those moments, and being that team player, he made me a captain senior year, and it's just about what you make it for yourself, and the opportunity might not always be there, and you gotta make that opportunity for yourself. That's my big thing.
Yeah, and I think, for you being a little person, what's what have been the challenges? I mean, do you feel like some people may judge you before they even know your personality? Because I feel like it's not just being a little person. It could be speaking a different language, being a different color, having different amount of money, coming from a different neighborhood. It's amazing how people judge without even knowing the quality of the person. And I've said it before. I said if I judge somebody based on difference of religion, some of my closest, two of my best friends are Jewish. I'm Catholic. Like if I had judged anybody based on kind of what color they are, what religion they are, political beliefs, I wouldn't really know people and I wouldn't really learn. I've never seen a difference. I see the person. When I see Ricky, I see Ricky. And I think, that's what makes my life fruitful is that I see people for who they are. But have you ever felt like somebody didn't give you the chance to show who you were?
Yeah, for sure. I mean that's just bound to happen. I feel like in the world we're starting to live in nowadays, it's people are starting to be more aware of it's not the look, it's not the outside of the person, it's the inside. So yeah, growing up, like I could sit here and say I've had lots of bad experiences, but those aren't the ones to reminisce on. It's the ones that you're blessed to have, and the reason I'm here right now with you is because I got the chance to be a leader in high school, and because of that I'm back here with you again today. So it's
Yeah.
it's an honor, and there's definitely been those parts where it's like maybe if things were different I would have got that opportunity, but at the same time you got to look at it like if I was just blending into a crowd, would I be where I am today? So
Yeah. And I think God doesn't make mistakes.
mm-hmm.
And then who you choose to be on top of that. And I think, like what you can't control is, I mean, the color of your skin and this, that, and whatever. And you can't control, different things that happen, but you control the content of your character.
Yeah, for sure.
And I would argue and tell you that you're here today because you made a good impression on me. I mean, whether you played or not.
Mm-hmm.
So
Thank you.
I think, for me, it's amazing to, be unapologetically Ricky, and what does that mean?
It's being me is what I wake up every day and say this is what I want to be. It's having the right attitude with everything you do. Life brings you things that you don't want to do sometimes. I just finished my sophomore year at college, and college isn't always great. So
Yeah.
especially through the pandemic we're all going through right now, and it's kind of just waking up and saying what do I want to do today? What person do I want to be? I want to be the greatest person I can be. So everyone has their downfalls, everyone has their weaknesses, but at the same time that's what makes the strengths in people, and just being the best person you can be every day and everything that you do.
What are the, for you, biggest learning moments that you've had in your life? Like, what can you say, like, these were huge turning points, or these were, very memorable times where I just, I took something that I still take today?
Yeah, it's probably just having like the opportunity. I'll say with the crunch for example.
Yeah.
I got brought in to help in the locker room 10th grade, and ever since I've been with them, and I got to know a lot of the Syracuse Crunch players who are now on the Tampa Bay Lightning, which was really cool to see them win the championship last year. And
So you knew the champions before they were champions.
yeah, exactly,
Which is
exactly.
awesome.
Little brag there,
Yeah,
So,
that's pretty cool.
but no, it's just like that. That really created me, to who I am now, because I know that not everybody gets that opportunity, and I was on the right side of the locker room. I guess you could say everyone wants to kind of know the players and stuff like that, and I had the opportunity to, so
Yeah.
I got to see what's behind the scenes, and that's really something that made me say, okay, I am lucky. I gotta go through with that and make sure I make every moment worth it. So,
How did you get it? How did it come about?
so Jim Sorosi, the chief operating officer, his son Holden, I played hockey with him, and we got to know each other. And then Holden brought me into the locker room. I got to know everyone, got to know the staff, and then freshman year of college, I got offered an internship. So it's amazing. The smallest opportunity can turn into the biggest one. So it's really about capitalizing on every opportunity you have.
And share with everybody that's watching and listening, as this is Wake Up Call inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios, featuring today for the entire show, Ricky Reilly. What share the names, of these champions before they were champions. Share with everybody the people that you got to be around.
So Eric Chernak, um, Vasilevsky, the goalie, Braden Point. I would say 3/4 of the winning Tampa Bay Lightning team. I would probably not for long, because a lot of guys, they come in the AHL, and in a few games they're up.
Yeah.
But I would at least have a few games with them. So it's really cool. It's the minors. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So it's not about trying to win every game. It's about how you develop these players to make sure they're ready. And with me coaching 14U hockey, I've brought that experience into my coaching, because it's not about are we winning every game? Are we doing all this? Am I gonna pick the best team that's gonna win me the state championship? That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for kids who are gonna want to work for me. They're gonna want to get better each day, and someone who I can develop to be ready for the next level. So that's my big thing.
And that's the thing with the AHL. It's if you're playing really well, you're going to be taken up. So it's almost like it's a detriment to the AHL team that you're on, but it's a benefit for your NHL
Exactly.
future.
Yeah,
It's a like catch-22 of like, if you're a really good coach, they're going to bring you up.
Uh-huh.
If you're a really good player, they're going to bring you up.
Yeah.
And so the better you play for the Crunch, the better chance you have of being with the Lightning. And so you win a Stanley Cup, which is fantastic, but you look at, like, if you're making a run with the Crunch, you may lose the most of those guys.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a love-hate relationship there. It's like, man, we really got this player. He's scoring us all these goals, and we're winning these games, and that's why you can't have that outlook. You gotta take a step back from that and say, wow, this player is really good. He's gonna be up in the show soon. So That's really what it's all about. It's kind of hard to have that mentality sometimes, and it's hard not to be selfish and want that player to stay with you. But
Yeah.
for example, I lost a few kids this year from my age group that went up. They're playing up a year, so it's like you got to take a step back and be like, they had a great year with me last year, and that's what kind of helped them develop into the player they are now. So,
And for you, Ricky, like, how did you handle learning how much of a business it is to, come to work and do your internship with the Crunch, and, you walk in there on a Tuesday and all of a sudden the guy's locker's cleared out, like how surreal was that? And do you remember any moment specifically where, like, maybe you built a friendship or you built a connection with somebody and you just walked in there and they're like, oh yeah, such and such is gone?
Yeah, big one's Eric Chernak. Me and him, we bonded right away. We had this thing we would do in warm-ups. I would open the door for the players to come back in the locker room, and on the ice he would jump and hit the boards, and so just something I would never think I would build a bond for, but it's there, and it was a friendship, and got to know him, and
Yeah.
I was still kind of young at that moment. I was still in the locker room, and that was kind of when he left. Obviously it's not like I got a text like, hey, I'm moving up to the majors here. It's he's gone. It's a good it's from Syracuse, New York to Tampa. So they gotta hop on the plane and they gotta get there. So there's no time to waste. And when I showed up one day and he was gone, it was kind of like, man, that sucks. But this is the business of pro sports. So that was really cool. It was cool to see him develop.
Yeah, I mean it's the heartbreaking but also happy. You're happy for you're happy for the people you build bonds with your friends and your relationships, but you're also sad because selfishly you want to come to work and see them.
Exactly, and that goes more than sports. It really does. It's if you're a boss of a business here, and you have a great accountant, for example, and they're helping you out there, and then they get a really good accounting job. It's like, man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss having them on our staff, but at the same time, it's all about opportunities here. So, it's developing. If you're a leader here, you gotta develop who's under you as best as you can and be the right example. And if they get a better opportunity, it's kind of just good for them. And then you gotta focus on what you can control. You can't control anything under that regard. So.
Yeah, and I deal with that with, interns. And Amani Free, who was at CNS. I mean, I've had Amani, I had JT Molo, I had my guy Zach, and I think that it's hard they do so well, and you only have them for a certain amount of time.
Exactly.
Zach helped me with my CNY Pop Festival, and I told him from the day he came in, I said, you are not getting coffee from me. That's not what my interns do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I put him to work. I was like, I'm running a festival. I'm running it by myself. I got to deal with like 100 people and all these moving parts. Do you want to be a part of it? And he took it. He did the social media. He put out posts for me. He started making things, doing that. He's a huge soccer fan. So he came on and I said to him, I was like, do you want to come on the show and do a segment? He's like, yeah, I'll come on once. And I was like, I want you to come on and actually do like the whole, I want you to have like a normal role on my show. And so to Zach Bowden, I want to show him some love. But, he came on, and when he did the segment with me, it was during the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
So he literally, I would let him go and I would do like this soccer segment with him, and I'd open it up and he knew something about every country. Like I'd say, okay, we're going to talk about these 20 countries. And he's like, well, if you're looking at Australia, they have da-da-da. If you look at Germany and France and then Spain and then Italy. And he's running through the names and these people and what they do and this game that they were in and how they kicked the ball. And he was just amazing.
Yeah.
And so I got to have him in a segment that was all the time. And we got to do it throughout the World Cup. I got to have him for the festival. And then JT, I never had somebody come on the road for me and take pictures and be a secondary, source of information, to be sitting with me and helping me with all my stuff. And he came with me to the American Athletic Football Media Days in Rhode Island and Newport. Then he came with me to Charlotte, and we did the ACC Football Media Days. And then I had Amani, and we created the show Free Talks about his and her take on relationships. And she helped me and came out to my events, and would do things for my events and whatnot. Like when you have somebody great, you know that they're going to move forward, and you're only going to have them for a time. And so that's your job as a boss is to do everything you can to bring out the best in them so that you don't get to employ them anymore. I mean, you're basically taking away your workforce because you want to see them succeed.
Yeah, no, for sure. It like you just said, it's a boss, it's a a leader, it's a captain, it's a GM of a team. It goes way beyond just one thing, and just having that skill to know that it's okay to let some go for the right reason, and even for the wrong reason. Whatever's best, and it's finding that healthy mix of knowing what's best. So it's really it's something that sport, just one of many things that sports teach us, and it's great. That's why sports are so awesome.
Well, and the tagline for Wake Up Call is where sports meets life, and I've held that all the way through. And the reason why I have that is it's the easiest way for me to tell you that sports really connects to life, and you can really make anything. I was having a conversation a few days back, and when I had this conversation about a week ago or so, it was about this dad who has a son who is he had two sons that played baseball, and both of them could have been looked at the majors, and both of these sons play baseball. One of them moves into law enforcement, the other one moves into priesthood. And he said their play in sports, like their connection, like what they did with sports and like the people that they met, it brought one of my sons to his job in law enforcement. It brought my other son into going to seminary to be a priest. So I looked at him and I said, where sports meets life. I said, truly, like the sports met their life. Like what they did in sports has now transitioned them into a portion of their life, which could be very fruitful and promising. And that's what it is. I mean, we met through sports. You're a part of my life. You're sitting here because of the person that you are, not because of any goals you scored or anything that you've done, but because of who you are. And so I really do take into account every single day in my life and in every fiber of Wake Up Call that, this show is where sports meets life. It's how I make the world smaller, bring the community closer. And where else can you go into a bar, sit next to somebody, watch a game, you're talking about the team, they say something, you look at them and go, oh, that was kind of smart. Hey, my name's Dan. Hey, I'm Ricky. Then you see something, I see something, we're laughing, we're joking. Then we start going and watching the games every Wednesday night together, and then you're the best man at my wedding. Like, what besides sports can create that?
Yeah, I mean, me sitting here talking to you, I couldn't say a better example. Sports, whether it's watching it at a bar on TV or if you're in person and watching it with a stranger next to you, by the end of that game, if you guys are rooting for the same team, you're probably going to be good friends. Even if you're kind of going against each other, it's a fun rivalry. People like to be competitive, and sports are great. The Super Bowl. What better get together is there than the Super Bowl? People have big parties.
Yeah.
It's like a
March Madness.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like bigger than a birthday party, and people come to celebrate the partaking of sports, and sometimes people leave there happy, sometimes people leave not too happy, but at the same time, I think everyone could say, we had a good time watching sports. So it's amazing the power of sports.
Yeah, and sports, it is. I mean, it is where sports meets life is Wake Up Call, and Wake Up Call is meant to be a true, wake up call for people to appreciate bonds and relationships, to build bonds, to appreciate, your family, to laugh, to joke, to have faith, belief, hope, to go outside yourself, to pay it forward. This is a sports show that is, sports is the vehicle, but what I put in the car is all the things I just mentioned. Mm-hmm. It's about building bridges, not walls, and it's about building bridges that you don't blow up. And Ricky, I'm sure you, as I, and anybody watching and listening can understand, when you build a bridge, you should never tear it down. And there's a quote at the end of Black Panther that I love that Chadwick Boseman said, bless him in heaven, and God bless to him and his family. He, as T'Challa, as the Black Panther, when he was speaking to the United Nations, he said, in times of crisis, he said the wise build walls, or the wise build bridges, while the foolish build barriers. And I thought that was so profound. And I mean, what do you have to say to that? Because I mean, networking and connecting, it got you where you are. It got me to where I am and what I'm doing. I mean, you don't build a bridge by yourself.
No, you don't. And the people who try and separate themselves and build a bridge by themselves, it's a lot harder to be successful. I see it going back to connections and relationships and building them. You could have started this show and tried to just do it yourself and talk to people every day, and you do a great job with that. But what really is great about it is you build those connections and you build these sponsorships, and that's what it's all about. And those are all the pieces under your bridge. So piece by piece, it doesn't come together in 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. It's not about the time. It's about accepting the fact that it's going to take time. Don't be worried about if after 2 months of doing a show or a podcast, oh wow, things really aren't coming together. You just got to keep hammering. And if you were to say, I don't need connections, I don't need relationships, I don't need sponsorships, it's going to be a lot harder to go down that successful road. And it's all about being open to help. Help is okay, and help isn't always like, oh wow, I'm not powerful. It's just more power to your name. So being open for any opportunity that comes your way, whether it sounds fun or not, it's going to help you in some way. It's going to get your name out there. It's going to get you out there. It's going to just get your exposure out there. It's going to make you a better person. And it's all about, what will you take to build your bridge?
Yeah, and I think, and thank you.
Yeah, of course.
But it's so true. It's, what is your foundation? Some people build their houses on sand. Some people build them on, cement and, like concrete, putting it together and building actual studs and putting them in the ground and connecting them to something. It's easy to make a house look pretty, but when the wind blows, does it blow over or does it hold true? And, the tornadoes are going to come. The monsoons come, the tornadoes come, the earthquakes come, the ice storms and the snowstorms come, and the wildfires come. And the people that weather that storm, I mean, think about it. Your house gets knocked down in a tornado. You try to rebuild it by yourself, or you're good to the community and the community builds it with you. How quick are you going to build it by yourself as opposed to having 30 people building?
Yeah.
So it says a lot about who you are and how you treat people when disaster strikes. Are you going through it alone? Are you going through it with a team? And it's not even about quantity, it's about quality. If I have 3 quality people, that's better than 30 people that are so. Someone that'll take a bullet. If I have one person in my life that'll take a bullet for me, that's better than having 1,000 people that would run when they heard the gunshot.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think it's, like you said, it's, quality over quantity. And did I say that? Yeah, I said that right. So yeah, no, it's about people who, if you have those good connections, yeah, connections are connections, but at the same time, like a good connection, someone that you can, sit down and have that one person instead of just throwing yourself out to 1,000 and, when the gunshot, everyone moves out and you get hit with a bullet. That one person who's going to get in your way, like in the way, and block that for you and be there for you, that's what matters. So, and when the house blows down and, you got to rebuild it, it's do you have those people? But then it also goes back to your personality. Are you going to be the one who's the leader and says, all right, let's rebuild this? Or are you going to take a step back and be like, oh, I have connections, they'll do it for me? It's really about how you look at every single certain event that happens in your life. And, working with your connections is the best thing you can do.
Yeah. It's working within there's beauty in the network. I mean, if I went through life alone, I couldn't have talked to my best friend and wished him a happy birthday. I couldn't hear about his hopeful job opportunity. I wouldn't have a girlfriend who I deeply am in love with and I cherish. I wouldn't have parents to have dinner with and hang out with. You and I wouldn't be sitting here today. I wouldn't have, any companies to talk about in the community that I really appreciate and respect. And I've made friendships with those companies, so I wouldn't have any of those friends. I, wouldn't be able to go back to Scranton, Pennsylvania, where I went to school, and reminisce with friends that I had in college that I've had for almost 20 years. I wouldn't be going to anybody's wedding. Mm-hmm. It's like, what would life look like if you just shut your doors and did it all by yourself? And granted, you could be successful to an extent, but in what world are you going to be the source of your money with nobody's help, the source of your relation? Like, what are you going to do for your birthday party? You know what I mean? So it's a world that you rise to the top by stepping on the backs of everybody. When you eventually get to the top of that mountain and those people wake up, what's the first thing going to do when those bodies wake up? They're going to grab your leg and pull you down. If you build a foundation where people are pushing you up, then they don't want you to get down. They want you to go higher. So it depends. If you're building in a positive way and you're networking and you're caring and you're loving, then people are going to want to see you at the top of the mountain. If you are stepping on people's backs to get to the top of the mountain, then they're going to open up and they're going to want to watch you drop straight down.
Yeah, for sure. It's a two-way street. If you give the love and affection to someone else, and you have the drive to make that person better, yeah, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it back. And it's really about how long are we on this earth for, and what are we gonna do with it? Like you said, we could easily shut our doors and kind of block everyone out. And like you said, you can be successful, but how successful? How bad do you want the next opportunity? With your show, it's a great example, because it's like, listen, after this episode, you're not done. You got to reach out to someone else. You got to have them out on here, and that's how you get better. You get more and more people, and with me being in college, I have 4 years to build as many relationships as I can until going out into the real world. And I just finished sophomore year, like I said earlier, and that means I'm halfway through. And for what I think I'm doing a decent job at getting connections, and I want to keep going. Having too many connections is not a thing. It's really not. Now having a connection that's probably not going to do you much, that's okay. It's okay to let that go, but that's how getting as many connections as you can, and then being able to sort out, instead of just going for one and then realizing maybe this isn't the right path for me, or not the right connection for me. Well, now where are you going to go? Because you've just focused on this one certain one. So it's all about testing your limits, going out, not being afraid to fail, going out there, not being scared like, oh, this might not work. So what if it doesn't work? You're giving yourself a chance. So it's all about what you make it, and what people you surround yourself with. And that's a big thing for me, is finding those good people to not step on their backs, but if they lift you up, you lift them up.
And I find that there's no connection that I don't appreciate. You know what I mean? Like, I don't look at companies I work with and say, well, this is this and this is that. Like, they all have value to me. Mm-hmm. And I think, I really learned in life that not everybody has your back. When I had built a friendship and a business relationship with somebody, and they basically sat there and were like, yeah, you're a little fish in the pond. I've used you up. I don't need you anymore. Mm-hmm. And I just remember looking at somebody going, wow, if you are a leech, as successful as you are, you're eventually going to hit a wall, because leeches don't succeed unless they continue to suck the life out of other people. And, I could never sit across from somebody going, Ricky, I got a lot from you, but I've overused our network. I no longer need you. Like, mm-hmm. It's like sucking somebody's soul out. Mm-hmm. And I mean, if you build bonds and true friendships and beauty, then nobody's a dead end. You might go down a job and say, okay, I don't want to be here forever. I don't want to grow. But you don't, I've never I've never left a job and, set the wall on fire or set the bridge down or took the bridge down. And I think, what's important about that is why form enemies when you don't need to, and why make the world harder than it needs to be. But really, I mean, there's no relationship that I don't value unless somebody genuinely is hateful and mean and, is standing against me, then it's them that essentially burns the bridge. And, for me, I could never fathom sitting with someone going, well, I've gotten everything I could get out of you. On to the next one. You know what I mean? Like, that's just exactly. Not my world.
No, exactly. I mean, I really like what you said about, you're not going to keep around those people who are, really burning those bridges and stuff like that. But with not keeping them around, that doesn't mean you can't learn from them, Negativity isn't always terrible because you can pull something out of it. Like you said, I just couldn't, see myself saying, okay, that's enough. I'll see you. I'm going on my way. So it's all about, taking something like that happened to you and being like, that's not the person I am. I didn't think people were like that, but now I got to know that that's wrong and I won't do that to someone. And that's how you build the stronger relationships. It's not all, uphill. You're going to have those downfalls. You're going to have those, bumps in the road. It's about how you get through that and then take that experience and have it in the future. So yeah. It's really, life isn't always, rainbows and sunshine. So it's about finding ways how to get through it and then, figuring out how you got through it and why it happened.
Took the words out of my mouth. We'll take a step aside for a fast break. When we come back, we will discuss something that came directly from what Ricky just said.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Cabal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafecabal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Cabal needs. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on WakeUpCallDT.com as well as Facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, Facebook.com/LiveNowDT, and on YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT. And of course, audio-wise, you can become a member for free on MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT for internet streaming radio for Wake Up Call Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. As you can see this right up on your screen. Once we go live, we get sent to the archives all around the world. And I'm very thankful that all you have to do is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora to find us on MixLR, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, as well as on YouTube. And here, as we usher in June with this June 1st specialty broadcast, we want to thank and give a proud welcome to our newest business partners here that we have in the community, Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, PB&J's Lunchbox, and the addition of Chick-fil-A Clay to go with Chick-fil-A Cicero, as well as Cafe Cubal, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Honda City of Liverpool, Avicoli's, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Pizza Man, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, the Millhouse Market, and Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. Of course, big shout out to Avicoli's and all the greatness that we have with all of these beautiful companies. So, as we talked about before the fast break, without community, without building together, I can't say thank you to Matt from Cafe Cubal, Jay from Carvel DeWitt, Danny and Heather from the Wildcats, John from Avicoli's, and Nick, as well as Lorraine and Chad and Heather and the team from Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Jimmer from Chick-fil-A Cicero and Clay, Doc, as well as Lance and the team from Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, to Brad, George, Ralph, and everybody that is over at Honda City of Liverpool, as well as Jim Sr. and Jimmy and Luke and everybody at Pizza Man, Rebecca at the Millhouse Market, Sue and Pat from the PB&J's Lunchbox, as well as Jim and Angela, and the entire team of JoJo and everybody, Brianna and everyone that's at Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. Those names, when I think of those places, I think of those people. Without network connections, caring, love, there's no names behind it. There's no faces. And the reason why I love working with the people we get to work with here at Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media as a whole is because of the people. And they could literally change their business from a kettle corn place to they could be rubber stamps. And knowing who they are, I'd want to support them. And so I think that it's not so much what they sell, it's who they are.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was great. That, last, 3 minutes of you just talking about that just shows, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. It's, it's a two-way street. That's my biggest thing. And, they help you, you help them. Now someone might go, get something at Chick-fil-A or something like that. So it's really about partnerships, working together. And, if someone's going to help you and, go the extra mile to make sure that they have your back in business, it's got to go the other way too. You gotta make sure you do the same, and it's in different ways. Yeah. They help you by, being a sponsor. You help them by advertising them. And in business, it's not always, I do this for you, now you should do the same. It's, I do, this type of thing, so help me out somehow, and it's, if people aren't going to give it to you, then, there's many more opportunities for where it comes from, and, it's all about resources. I love that.
And God's given me no shortage of good people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that when people are saying, do good people exist? I mean, let me do it one more time, just like show you this page. I mean, do good people exist? In all of these places, the answer is yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and this is our community, folks. This is, Skinny Atlas, Liverpool, Camillus, Syracuse, Manlius, DeWitt, East Syracuse. I mean, this is all over. These are Clay, Cicero. These are our people. Pulaski, and just Baldwinsville. These are just really good human beings. And to me, it's more about, that's why I don't call them sponsors, I call them partners. Because a sponsor could, hand you a check and walk away. A partner is somebody who, you're in constant contact with and you're working together, and you're letting them be a part of the creative, and they're letting you be a part of what they do. They let me in their trailer when they're out in an event and they're running around and making all this food. They let me in their trailer, and then I let them sit with me on the video and talk about stuff. So there's so much value, and I love it so much because I get to seek out people, and I get to choose who I work with, and they get to choose who they work with. And when we choose each other, some really beautiful things happen.
For sure. And, work together is what I pulled out of that. It's working together, and that's how you create those beautiful things. There's going to be people thrown your way that, want to sit there and watch you do the work. They just want the fame and the advertise. So, it's really about finding those people in your life that will go the extra mile for you and for them. If they're going the extra mile to help you, and sit here for you and talk about that, and then also go the other way. It's all about that. It's about finding those people who are gonna invite you into that truck and invite you into that food, and then also say, hey, do you mind if I can come on the show and kind of expose my part of it? And it's like, sure, that's how it works, but it's all about giving time to the right people and finding what's best for you and for them.
Yeah, it's about working together. That's exactly what you said. Coming off of our conversation we had before the break inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios, you're watching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. I'm hanging out with Ricky Reilly, and we are here. We're going to talk a little bit about CNS. We'll talk about the Cicero Chill, and coming up at the bottom of the show, we'll have the Ingredients to Success, brought to you by Avicoli's, as we always do every Tuesday around 10:50 a.m. Eastern Time in the last 10 minutes of the broadcast on Wake Up Call. So something that you said provoked me to think this question. Can we learn in life without adversity?
That's a tough question. I think you could learn a few things. I think you can learn a lot from a lot of things, but my biggest thing, I think adversity is one of the biggest things you can learn from. I think adversity is hard. Adversity can be frustrating. It can be painful. It can be, emotionally, very hard. And at the same time, it builds you to be the person who you are. So I think adversity is one of the biggest things that you can learn from, because it shows you how to get over it. If you have a clear path in life, you're not going to learn much.
Yeah.
If things get thrown your way that you don't want to be thrown your way, and you deal with those and you find ways to get over that, you can use that method to probably get over something, or be better at something that may not be related, because it's all about a personal trait. So I think adversity is huge to learn from.
Yeah, I think how do you learn when you're not challenged? Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, and I think about this all the time when people talk about growth. What happens when you grow? When you're a little baby and you grow, what happens? When your body grows, it's called what? Growing pains.
Yeah.
So you can't physically grow without pain. You can't emotionally, mentally, spiritually, socially, economically. You can't grow without pain. You can't grow without adversity. And I think it's such a beautiful thing in life to learn that when adversity hits, when people throw me into the fire now, I laugh. Mm-hmm. I used to be like, oh my God, I'm going to get burned. Now when they throw me into the fire, I'm like, I'm going to come out like the Hulk. I don't know why you did this to yourself.
Exactly.
So can you tag a moment of adversity in your life? Can you look at a piece where you thought, I really learned from this?
Yeah, I would say probably first semester college, first semester freshman year.
Okay.
It was, I went from, being here at Cicero in the hometown to, moving or going out to college and having that whole different experience. And it's something to where it's like, wow, this, at times it stinks. It's like, man, this is very uncomfortable. School's hard. At first you don't have a lot of friends. It's just a whole different atmosphere than at here at high school, where you've gained your friends for the past 12 years.
Yeah.
You know the teachers after seeing them around the halls for 3 years. So stuff like that, and really digging deep because personally, cool guy, I want to be outside and playing. So it's kind of finding that adversity and finding that way to come over that adversity, and that helps me. What I learned there helps me in my everyday life. If I see something I don't really want to do, or in coaching, if there's a task or an event that I have to deal with that I don't want to, it's like, listen, if you push it off, it's not going to get any easier. You just got to put the hammer and the nail into it, and get it over with, and make sure you're doing it right, because you can go to class and you can do these tests, and if you're not doing them right, you're gonna have to take the class again. It's not gonna get any easier. So taking that time to do it for yourself, that's the biggest thing. Don't do it for anybody else except yourself, and that's how you overcome adversity, because when you overcome those, not only do you achieve success, but you achieve the knowledge of how you got over it, how you did it, and what you did. And things will change. Some ways that you got over something in the past might not work for a certain thing, but the attitudes won't. It's all about the attitudes. It's all about how did I tell myself that I'm gonna get over this, I'm gonna do this, and not let the other side come in to say this is too much, I'm not gonna be able to do this. And with coaching, that's what if I'm not doing that, the kids aren't going to do it. So it's all about setting the right example for yourself and others.
And I think you bring up an awesome point. In when you get through something, it's not only that you got through it in the moment, but it gives you the knowledge and the wisdom how to do it again. It helps you to learn tricks and tools and to improve things in your toolbox. It's kind of like being in a video game and leveling up, right? It's like you open the toolbox and, okay, Mario's got a mushroom, and now Mario has the flower that turns him into fire. Now Mario has a raccoon where he can fly. Now he has Yoshi. It's like as you go through the game, you're constantly, in the game of life, you're trying to put things into your toolbox. The star, the things that you have. And I think, kind of bringing up the star in a funny way on Mario, that's what people want. They want to rush through life, and they want everything to work out perfectly, but the star goes away quickly. It's that like quick fix and then it's gone. Well, it's if you're Mario, for instance, in your life, and you find the star, you got to hope to get through everything as fast as possible. But did you enjoy it? Did you learn anything from it? No, you ran through it. So even if we had an easy run of life, what would the easy run teach you? When you finally hit adversity, when that star wears off, when you're just in the video game of life and the star's not there anymore, everything you just defeated, you don't even know how you did it, because you didn't have to do anything to do it because you had the star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. People can either spend their time looking for that star, or they can find a way to just compose themselves and get into that problem. I feel like a lot of times people who just start digging instead of look for that shovel. It's the people who just started digging maybe a week before the people who had the shovel. They're going to be lower into the ground, and they might find the stuff in the ground where the guy who's looking for the shovel is hoping to find quicker. So it's all about getting your hands dirty, being okay with adversity, and you don't always need to rush through things. If it takes time, it takes time, and the longer it takes, the more you're gonna learn. Adversity is a big thing for me. Obviously, everyone has to face it in their own ways, and some people love that start. Some people like to rush through. For college, you can just get through in 4 years and say you did it, and get that degree and hopefully get a good job. Or you can take that 4 years, really buckle down, get that tutoring help, go that extra mile to learn it, and really know, you're going to be comfortable to be out of school, and go into the real world.
Well, that's the question, is do you want to just pass, or do you want to excel?
Exactly. And that's the thing, is in high school, I feel like, there's a lot of people wanting you to excel. There's a lot of people saying, listen, You know, we're gonna try and do good here. You know, we're gonna try and do this. You know, I'm gonna go this extra mile to, you know, contact this tutor for you.
Yeah.
The second you get into college, it's a whole different atmosphere. You know, there's gonna be people who want to help you, but you gotta go out your way to go get that extra help. You can show up, or you could like not show up to class for the whole semester.
Yeah.
And most professors won't even contact you. They're not gonna care. You know, if you fail the class, you're one out of 300 kids in that class. Maybe if it's a big class, you know, what are you to them if you don't show up? You
right.
know? So it's all about.
And it's not their job to get you there.
Exactly. So that I think goes beyond the real world. You know, it's about life. You know, it's you know, you can shy away from those problems. You can, you know, not go try and get that extra opportunity, but you know, who's that hurting other than yourself? You know, so it's you know, it's all about, are you gonna go and dig deep, or are you gonna go and look for that shovel to make it easier for yourself?
I love that you said that, and I've never heard it said that way, but it's true. You know, it's like, are you I mean, if there's a zombie apocalypse, are you like trying to get into the building, or are you looking for the key? If you're looking for the key, you ain't getting in. But like, I'm thinking, okay, the door is locked. Okay, so can I jump on this trash can? Can I get on the roof? Like, you have to be able to ad lib. And you also said something about tests, and like, you could fail a class and this and that. I'm a firm believer, and I have a faith, and I know some people do that listen to the show and watch it. Some people do, some people don't. As I respect theirs, I ask that people respect mine. My faith is very strong. I believe in God. I'm proud to be Catholic. I'm proud to be Christian. I have friends of different religions. We all love each other. And I think the beauty of what I've learned in life is when God gives you a test, he'll literally go like this. He'll bring the test to you, and he'll say, "Hey, Ricky, take the test."
Yeah.
And if you go no, and then, a few months go by and you go, "Wow, I got out of that one." God goes, "Here's the test again."
Yeah.
And then a year goes by and you're like, "Wow, God really doesn't care." And God goes, "Here's the test again." I've legitimately felt like God's made me take a test 7 or 8 times until I've actually taken it. And if I take it and I don't pass it, here's the thing. God appreciates the effort. God, you pass by taking it and getting after it. And then if you want, he wants you to do better. He wants you to improve. But the thing that God really wants you to do is to take the test. And if you don't take the test, because you're going to crash and burn, you're going to learn things. It's not always going to work out. He could he could help teach you how to trust. And then you could date somebody that, cheats on you. And then God says to you, "Here's the test. I taught you you wanted to learn how to trust. You worked at it. You achieved it, Ricky. You achieved it, Daniel. And whoever's watching, listening, you achieved trust." But then it's like, okay, well then God, why'd you send me this liar? Because I need to know that learning trust wasn't just learning to trust them. Learning to trust was learning to trust. And so now that you've hit them and there's this adversity, are you going to learn to trust? Or are you going to go, okay, well, I learned to trust, but then I couldn't trust them, so now I'm not anymore. God doesn't teach you to trust a person. God gives you the tools to teach you how to trust in general. God doesn't give you he doesn't teach you how to be peaceful without a storm. God teaches you how to be peaceful in a tornado and be peaceful when you're sitting in the grass. So it's when you learn something, you have to understand that you can't blame God for saying, "Well, I'm learning how to trust and I got cheated on. Well, I'm learning how to do this, but this just happened." It's you learning how to do it regardless of the outside influence. Because if you can be changed by an outside influence, then we can argue that you genuinely don't ever learn anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. It's all about, what you believe in and what, you kind of see certain events being. It's obviously you can look at something way different than someone, someone else, just, no one particular, but it's just, it's about how you see it and the lessons that you learn, because a certain event, you might take something out of it different than I would,
Yeah.
And it's all about, what can we look at this the best way to help me know what to do to be more successful in life.
Well, it's AHL, NHL. Yeah. If I'm the NHL team, I'm getting a talent. If I'm an AHL team, you're stealing my talent. But it's the same move.
Exactly.
You got a coach at the AHL saying, "I want to win a championship with the Crunch," and you got a coach in the NHL saying, "I want them to win it for me with the Lightning." And so is either one of them wrong?
No.
No. But there's only one place that person can go, right? Or there's two places, but there's only one place they're going to end up. They can't be in both.
Yeah.
So I think, what we learn in life is you're not going to please everybody. You're always going to upset people. Listen, if you get the job you want, somebody could hate you that's a total stranger because they wanted it. If you start your own business and you succeed, somebody could hate you because they didn't do it. If you end up with a girl or a guy that you love and respect, there's somebody out there that wanted to be with that person. You can accidentally hurt a lot of people. The thing in life is to not purposely do it.
Yeah, for sure. Being successful in life, there's going to be those people who, don't like to go the extra mile, who like to sit there and, make you the bad guy.
Yeah.
You're going to get that no matter what you do. It's how life is, and it's sad that that's how life is, but, you gotta be all right with that and kind of just take it and say, all right, yeah, you not liking what I do isn't going to change what I do.
Yeah.
Having that thick skin to really say to yourself, just because someone just told me what I'm doing is wrong, doesn't mean it's wrong. It's all about, if you believe in something strongly, keep doing it. Don't let someone change you. Especially in the world we live nowadays, people's beliefs can be looked at greatly. They can be looked at horribly. It's all about being true to yourself, and that's how you be successful.
How do you learn the difference between a voice that's telling you that something's wrong and it's because they love you, and somebody's telling you something's wrong and it's because they want to see you fail?
It's about the relationships you build. If someone who has always been there for you, and in the previous past has given you advice that has helped you achieve success, and it's not always about success. It's about being the best person that you can be. It's if someone is telling you something you don't want to hear, you got to kind of take a step back and say, all right, who's this person telling me? If it's your mom and dad who have seen you and, raised you for me, 20 years, and they're telling me something, obviously I'm going to believe in that. But if it's someone who I haven't known, they haven't known me for, more than a week, and they're trying to change who I am, that's where you got to take a step back and really say, okay, listen, stay true to yourself here,
Yeah.
And, if someone says something to you that, you think is, questioning who you are, take a step back, take some time, and talk to someone else about it. See what they think, and try and apply it into a real world scenario in your head and say, how would that have gone? If someone doesn't like how I'm coaching, I'm not going to, if it's one player or parent in my team who doesn't like what I'm doing,
Yeah.
but what I've been doing has gotten me to where I am now, I'm not going to change who I am because of one person. If I kind of take a step back and say maybe it was that moment that they didn't like, okay, maybe I don't do that again, or maybe I don't do that. But if they come to me about who I am, I'm not going to change who I am for just one incident or something that happens. Everyone, makes mistakes. Everyone, kind of goes off their path for a second here and there, and that's just what life is, and finding value in people is really how I would kind of determine what people are saying and what it means.
Well, and you said it, before we talked about it, quality over quantity. Because there may come a day where 100 people think you're wrong, or 1,000 people. It's not one. And if you really know yourself and you have a faith in God and you believe in something, you can stand against 1,000,000 people and say, no. I mean, I have a quote coming into my studio that you saw. It says, compromise where you can, and where you can't, don't. Even if everyone is telling you that something wrong is something right, it is your job to stand like when they tell you to move, it is your job to stand like a tree and say, no, you move.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes the world will tell you you're wrong.
Yeah.
The whole world will tell you that you're wrong. And you made a great point that who do we listen to and who do we not listen to? Well, I listen in prayer more than anything to God. But to people, who do you listen to, who do you not listen to? You made a great point. What is your relationship with them? Mm-hmm. Because so often we care about faceless people on social media, and people that don't even know us. I mean, the people that have thrown hate my way, none of those people know who I am. 0% of those people have had lunch with me, dinner with me, broken bread, like actually genuinely been a friend.
Yeah.
So why do we care so much about people that don't care about us? Why do the opinions of strangers and acquaintances mean more than the people that love us?
Yeah, I think that's a huge thing, and like you said, social media, that's a huge thing, and cyberbullying and online bullying and all that. It was really bad a few years ago. It was really bad. Schools starting to draw, they started to draw attention to it, and obviously there's been some bad events that have happened because of it, and it's just, you can't avoid that. You really can't. People are going to say what they want to say no matter what, and kind of, realizing the values of those people to you. Michael Jordan could, come up to me and say, hey, I don't like how you coach. And a lot of people would say, oh my gosh, that's Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
But who does Michael Jordan know for me? Like, what person does Michael Jordan see for me? If Michael Jordan's coming up to me saying he doesn't like how I coach, is that just him, seeing one instinct that he didn't like, maybe? Like one moment that, something went wrong? It's all about the values to people. And like for you to me, we have a connection now, and, we have that respect because we've, done work in the past, we're doing work now, and we're getting to know each other more. And, I much rather value your opinion than someone who, maybe they're watching this show and I've never, met them before or something, and they have a opinion about me, and, it's good to take it all in, but it's how you react to that.
Yeah. And it's taking it from the people that you love, working with the people that you love, but beyond anything else, and what I've learned in the past year and a half, if you love yourself and you work on a healthy mind and a healthy body, and in my thing, keeping God first, that's me. If you do that, if you keep God first and you take care of yourself, then internally you can eventually seek to find those answers. And when God wants those answers to come from other people's mouths, then that's what God does.
For sure.
We'll take a step aside for a fast break. We'll be back right after this with more from Ricky Reilly. We're going to be talking about his time at CNS, the Cicero chill and the story there, and we're going to be playing some rapid fire. I also want to ask you, Ricky, what's like movies, music, what are you really into? Because I want to do like a guess that, and I want to see if we can if we can, how good we are at a topic. What's a topic you really like?
I like country music. I'm a country music fan. Sports movies. Not a big movie guy.
Okay.
I like country music. What else? Maybe sports teams, hockey teams, anything hockey, really.
Okay. Maybe we'll do something with country music. That's all coming up right after this on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbeeville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville beats. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You're watching on Facebook.com/LiveNowDT, Facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, as well as on YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT. And of course, this show is brought to you every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm talking about Wake Up Call inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios, coming to you also on mixlr.com/WakeUpCallDT and on WakeUpCallDT.com. And you can connect with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora in our archives all over the world on Stitcher, TuneIn, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, and on MixLR, as well as by simply searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. And of course, you can find us right here with all these beautiful companies. We want to say thank you to them as well. A big shout out to all of the wonderful companies we're proud to work with here in our community of Central and Upstate New York. A big thanks to Cafe Kubal, Carvel DeWitt, as well as the Wildcat Sports Pub, Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, as well as Honda City of Liverpool, Avicoli's, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, as well as Pizza Man, PB&J's Lunchbox, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, the Millhouse Market, and Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. So a lot of great stuff that we have here in our community, and many people to thank, and many great and amazing people here in our community of Central and Upstate New York that we're proud to be partnered with here at Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So with that being said, inside the Cafe Kubal Studios, Ricky Reilly is here with me, CNS to the Cicero Chill. Ricky, best memories, what you can tell me, I know we talked about it a little bit, but of your time that you spent at CNS, what can you tell me about your time with the North Stars?
A lot of good things. Really, they developed me to be, the person I am. They gave me, the schooling to have the opportunity to be in a great college at Casanova. It's they do a great job. There's high school's tough. It's all about the opportunities you can make out of high school and what you can do right and pushing away the things you do wrong because you're a teenager. Things are bound to happen that are wrong. And CNS is great. I'll always say I'm proud to be a North Star.
Yeah.
It's great athletics. Tim Benarski's doing a great job. He's always done a great job, and I got nothing but good things to say. I hope to be back with the North Stars someday to help out a sports team, for now it's just they led me on the path to success, and that's where I am now in Casanova. So schooling wise it's great, and then athletics I could talk about for hours. I played lacrosse in CNS. I played hockey in CNS. It's I played tennis for junior and senior year, and that was great. And so it's all about them having the right kind of things to offer, and It's a great high school, and go North Stars always. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing, being a big fan, of where you come from, being happy where you were and how they built you. When you went into CNS, coming out of CNS, how is Ricky Reilly better through the process?
I think it's about challenging yourself. When I was younger, I didn't really understand the whole, challenge yourself to make yourself better. Senior year is stereotypical to be, kind of just like a lot of fun and all that, but it was challenging. I'm not the best student there is, and I had to go the extra mile to make sure that I could get, into a college and stuff like that, and, all the teachers there are great. The guidance counselors, the tutors, it's unreal there. They got it all figured out, and, having just a lot of resources only at high school is great.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't have that opportunity, and CNS has that to offer. And I'd say, going into high school and going out, something that I kind of, grew on is the person I was becoming, and, understanding my values and what I was good at, what I wasn't. The world is full of people who think, everything can come their way and they're great at everything, and that's just not the case, unfortunately. It'd be great if it was, but there's some things you'll strive on and there's some things you'll struggle on, and high school helped me find those, and how to deal with them, and how to grow even more on the things that I think I could strive on.
Yeah, and I think that's great. And like you said, it led you to Cazenovia. What's Cazenovia life like?
Kaz is great. With being a big high school around here, I think my graduating class was 686 at CNS.
Yeah.
And that's huge for around here. That's big. And so I was looking for something a little smaller, like a little smaller community, and I found that at Kaz. Kaz is, I think my class is around like high 200s, maybe low 300s, and for college that's very low. It's very low. So I love it. I've gotten to know a lot of people at Kaz because of this. The campus is great. Like I said, I just finished my sophomore year, and a lot of people might like transfer and stuff when they're halfway through or go somewhere else, and I'm happy where I am, I'll tell you that. And it all starts with CNS helping me find the right school.
Yeah, and having that connection to Kaz, and having a couple years on your belt, you had a very interesting, as many people did. You didn't have the life of a normal student. Nobody at college or at a university did. How did you navigate a pandemic, and did it take away from your college experience? Do you feel cheated? How do you look at it?
Yeah, so, like you said, everybody went through it, so we were all in the same boat. It all starts with us as students, and then, feeding up to professors, to, the presidents of the schools and stuff like that. So the decisions, some schools were different, but most of them were the same. Being online, I don't think, a lot of people that was hard for them. Being online is not easy, and not having that in-person access to ask questions and stuff like that, it's difficult. And I honestly can sit here and tell you I don't think Cazenovia could have done a better job. I really struggled with it at first. I did not like being in my own home trying to learn. You got your parents talking to you, you got the dog barking, you got all that stuff, and for the first few weeks, I'll tell you what, it was difficult. And the professors and the higher staff at Cazenovia were great, and with being in the Cicero area, I saw the process that CNS was going through too, and they did nothing but a great job either.
Yeah.
I think they supplied like Chromebooks to all the kids who didn't have computers, and what's more thoughtful than that? They could have easily said, if you have a computer, tune in. If not, try and read the textbook. That's what it's all about, is going that extra mile for your connections and for your students and for your kids, and they see that, and that's what they'll bring into their life too, is like, hey, listen, I got that extra Chromebook. and I got that extra help through hard times, so I want to be that extra help for someone else when they're going through the hard time. So.
Yeah, and I think, again, we talk about building bridges, networking, and the importance of it. How do you get through a pandemic without a community?
You can't. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot harder than with a community, and everyone reacts in their own way, and no matter how you react, a community is going to be there for you. It's got to be there for you to be able to get through it. Whether it's one person or whether it's 50, it's all about who you value and who values you, to where, should I go to my group of 25 of friends who I'm not going to get that, thing off my chest that, I'm struggling with, or should I go to that group with one or two friends that might not be as big of a group, but we're going to get through more. We're going to get through those tough times together. And, that's what I value. And that's kind of why I sized down for college, because I wanted those stronger relationships, rather than going to a university that has, thousands of kids.
Yeah.
And, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But for me and my personality and my values, I saw more value in me personally going to a smaller community.
Yeah, and I think, you basically described, it's in the circle of your, like your circle of trust, to me, it's like, it's me and God at the most intimate. And then it's like this tiny circle. And then there's a circle of people outside of that. And then there's a circle of people outside of that. And then there's a circle of people. Because I have like almost 3,000 numbers on my phone. But how many of those people do I talk to like almost daily? Mm-hmm. How many people are really, really like my people that, I go to when, and I, what I used to do? When I had a problem, I used to tell everybody.
Yeah.
And then I realized like everybody knows my business. Now, when I'm trying to figure something out, I go to a small, tiny group, and just a few people. And the thing is, then I know who I talk to. I know that like here's the 4 people that are working on something with me.
Yeah.
And there's beauty in that, because like you said, you try to accomplish, something, and you really get to know who the real people are, because you might bring somebody in and entrust them with something and they break the trust, or you bring somebody in and they do a great job. And it's trial and error in life always of finding those people that you can really just hone in and believe in. And some of them surprise you, and some of them are the people you thought they would be. And when you put it, like, when you have those moments and you put it together, it's really beautiful. The people that that, like, when something big happens, you get a job, you fall in love, whatever it may be, and like that you call that person, and the way you feel when you tell that person, that's one of your people. Because you have like this incredible feeling like, oh my God, like I get to share this with you. And I think, just being the best you can be, you will eventually, have those bonds and those relationships where somebody really comes to you and you really can go to them. And having that's the thing. You can know a lot of people, but know these people. And it's important to know who they are, because it's, yes, an Avengers team against Thanos can have 500 members, but who do we all know? We know the original 6. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's hard to find one, sometimes it's 10, but I think in life, as your chapters change and those people are still a part of your book, those are your people.
For sure. And it's about knowing those people. Who are those people? And I liked your point about when you said, who do I tell my problems to? Do I text it out to 100 people and then hope for 100 responses saying, get better soon?
Yeah.
Just those, things that aren't really going to help you. Or do I text something to those, 1 or 2 other people that are going to, come back and, really help me get over this problem and help me be the best person I'm going to be? And that's and that's all personal opinion. Am I going to have that friend group of 30 or am I going to have that friend group of 30 with 3 really close friends? It's all about, a personal opinion, and I think you and me both share the same values and beliefs of, having that close friend group and close amount of people that you can really get to know and really trust them and tell them, and that way you can be there for them as well. Like I said, it's a two-way street. Something that you lay on someone else, that person might need to lay something back on you. It's about having someone there for you and being there for that same exact person.
And I think the greatest thing, one of the greatest things that you can, maybe the greatest thing in a friendship that you can have is beyond love, is when you've confided so much in them, sought them so much for help, and then one day they come to you and say, like, I need your help. Mm-hmm. Like, I have friends where I just gave them, like, these are my problems, these are my problems, these are my problems. And now I'm sitting in a place where, like, they came to me and said in the middle of the night, like, Dan, I'm really worried about this. Yeah. I'm seeking your counsel. Yeah. And when somebody seeks your counsel, it's one thing, because we're very, we can become very me-oriented. And, when we're seeking help, we'll go out to people and we want you to help us. But when somebody seeks it back, to me, that means more than them helping me. When they ask me for help, it's like I somehow earned their respect enough and their love enough that they really honestly believe that at this time of crisis, I can help them. So I've realized as a friend or as anybody that I love that I can go to people, but that's, I love even more when people can come to me, because it makes me feel like they believe that as tough as moments have been for me, they can lean on me. And I love I can lean on other people, but I love even more when they lean on me, because it makes me feel like I'm doing God's work, and it makes me feel like if I mean that much to somebody, it's, it really makes you feel good that, you feel weak when you talk about your problems sometimes, and then when someone comes back to you that you talked about your problems too and says, hey, you're strong, I need you, like, it's just a beautiful thing to me. Yeah. I think I value more when I get those phone calls of, like, Dan, I need you.
Yeah, no, for sure. And sometimes, if you're going through some tough times, sometimes helping others, as weird as it sounds, sometimes helping others will help you, because it'll kind of make you take a step back, forget about your problems for a second. And, if you help someone overcome a challenge, if, you give them some advice that you haven't thought about before, you might take that and take a step back and, apply it to your own problems. So I think it's a great thing to have those people who are going to come to you for their problems, because, that means it's a healthy relationship. It's a healthy friendship. It's, it's that healthy bond that's going to help both you and the other person be the best person you can be.
Yeah, and I agree. I think everything in life, we always come back. We've been coming back to it all day. It's give and take. It's working together. It's building bridges, not walls, and it's, not burning them, but understanding what one bridge gives you versus the next.
For sure.
Cicero Chill, another bridge being built. Tell me about it.
So Cicero Chill is a local youth hockey organization. It has hockey for age groups starting at 8 and under, 10 under, 12 under, 14, 16, and 18. We're actually adding in a 15 and under. Me personally, I am at the 14U level. Okay. I got brought in kind of like at the start of last season as an assistant coach with two of my friends, Cole Parzik and Chris Knight. They brought me on to be an assistant coach. Instantly loved it. That was my first real coaching experience. So I personally was like, I need to, I need to be in this more. I love being there for people, and that's really what coaching's all about. So last year went great, and our head coach, he got an opportunity to go to a different organization. The head coach spot was open, and I got offered it, and I'm blessed to have that opportunity for next year. And we just had tryouts for next year's team. Went great.
Yeah.
I have nothing but good things to say about the organization, about the kids, about the people above me in the organization, and I'm looking forward to a good year.
And I think, and it's so cool that you got to be an assistant with that, and then now you're the head coach. I mean, you're a head coach, and you're a head coach in hockey, and you're how old?
I am 20 years old.
20 years old, and you're a head coach.
Yeah.
At any level, I would imagine that this has to be, a dream come true.
It is, and it's kind of sometimes I have to pinch myself, and some things that some people would think are stressful, like dealing with parents and stuff. I love it. I love dealing with people. I'm in sport management because I hope to deal with players. I hope to deal with fans, and that's just the kind of person I am. I love being here, face to face with someone asking me questions, and kind of promoting something for the other people to listen to. I love being a leader. Yeah. I love being at the top of the hill to yell down to everyone else to help them. So it's great for me, and like you said, with me being 20 and only coaching a 14U team, I'm only 6 years older than these kids, and at times it seems like a lot, but it's really not. It's really not. And to think in 6 years, when they're my age, I'm hoping I'm somewhere else. I'm hoping I'm gonna be in higher opportunities, and right now I can't worry about that. I just gotta worry about where I am now and making the best of it, and making an impact on everyone who's in my life.
Where do you want to be? Where is the head coaching world for you?
So I hope to grow in coaching as I grow older. But something I've learned in the past years is, you just gotta sit in the roller coaster, strap up, and ride the roller coaster. You don't get on a roller coaster and say go left, go right, do you? It's that path is created. And my future is there, and I look forward to it's like a pitch black roller coaster. You don't know what's coming. You're gonna take some left turns. You're gonna go up sometimes. You're gonna go down.
You're gonna think you're going left, and it pulls you right.
Exactly. And it's all about, do you hit that button next to you to say stop, or do you keep riding that roller coaster and hope that if you stick in there and you do the right things, that you will go uphill sometimes. So right now I'm blessed to be where I am. I'm really happy where I am, and all I got to do is do what I'm doing right. That's my biggest thing. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna do it well, and I'm gonna make the best impact possible on people in my life.
How are you doing it right?
Just facing the challenges and making sure I'm teaching lessons to the kids. Being the best person I can be. If I show up to practice late, if I show up to practice, in a bad attitude, and I think that's okay, I'm going to get a bunch of players who follow me, and they might show up late because coach did it. They might be in a grumpy mood because coach was.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm only 6 years older than these kids, but I'm a role model to them. I'm there for them, and it goes more than sport. Like we've said in the past few minutes, like it's way past sports. It's checking up on them, saying how was school today, being there for them to kind of say, hey, listen, like I see you're kind of down, I see you're sad, what's up? Being there for them, because it's a two-way street. Because if you want them to be the best player and best person they can be, you got to be there for them. So it's all physical and mental. Teaching them those traits of how to shoot the puck the best way, how to be the best player on the ice. But you also got to set the right example and tell them what's right, what's wrong, for them to be the best person off the ice.
Yeah, and I think that for you, I mean, you're learning, you're growing, you're excelling, you're having fun, and like you said, set a good example. If you show up, I remember that coaching, doing camps with basketball, coaching soccer. If I show up late, then there could be a kid just waiting for the excuse, waiting for the one time. Well, coach, you showed up late. Yeah, and my dad told me, he said, people will say bad things about you. They'll be mean to you. They'll hate you. Don't ever give them a reason. Mm-hmm. Don't ever prove them right. Mm-hmm. Don't be late. Because if they want to say, you're not qualified and they want to make up a bunch of stuff, let them make it up. But never give them an actual viable reason.
For sure.
So control what you can control and be a good person.
Yeah.
By the way, I love the Cicero Chill logo, and I realize right now that I need a hat or a t-shirt that has that on it.
Sweet, we'll get it to you.
Because I definitely want to
hang it up in the collection. And
I want to rock it.
Yeah, it's a cool logo, isn't it?
It is. It's really
It's a cool
cool.
logo.
It's
really
very
cool.
nice.
Really cool.
So we got plenty more coming up. We're going to take a step aside. When we come back, we're going to play Rapid Fire and have some fun with it with Ricky Reilly in studio. This is Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Cubal studios. Thank you so much for being here. Plenty more to come.
Cafe Cabal Mobile Cafe brings the cafe experience to you. We'll roll out to your neighborhood or office, ready to serve our locally crafted espresso bar to our loyal patrons. Inquire at cafecubal.com. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, located on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, is home to over 40 flavors with more than 200 flavors in their total wheelhouse. Sky's the limit for this sweet and savory Central New York company. Keep it local at your parties, fundraisers, wedding showers, baby showers, and more by calling 315-450-MA-PA. That's 315-450-6272 for popcorn bars with custom flavors and colors at your upcoming event. Make sure to visit them on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. And for more information, go to maandpassnacks.com. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you? The Millhouse Market, located on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, is worth the drive every time. Make your way out to the Millhouse Market, but first download their app on the Apple app or Google Play Store. It is extremely user-friendly. The most difficult thing on the app is figuring out what you're going to order when you come down to 9 choices at the end that you can't decide between. Their homemade breads to their homemade desserts, their quinoa bowls, rice bowls, salads, to everything that they have. Their brick oven pizzas, the bee sting, the margarita, the steak and blue, so many great ones. And of course, the sandwiches named after the families that helped to settle today's Pulaski. Ingrained in our community and ingrained in our taste buds. They're open Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And when I say open, I mean in 3 ways. Their drive-through to grab your food and go is right there at the window. You can also go into their general store and get local products from local companies, including the pure maple syrup and local honey that I picked up from Millhouse Market. And you can go to their indoor dining, sit inside, have a drink, relax, and enjoy a great time. The menu is extremely great. It's the bonding of so many different styles of restaurants. And they say that you can only be great at one thing or good at a lot of things. I would argue that Rebecca Alford is great at everything that they put on the menu. There's everything that I've had, no complaints. She is truly an artist when it comes to the kitchen, and the place is a beautiful, beautiful tribute to our community of Central and Upstate New York. Find your way to 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York. Worth the drive every time to the Millhouse Market. Back here inside of the Cafe Cubal studios, here with Ricky Reilly, myself, Dan Tortora, and we have talked about CNS, we've talked about the Cicero Chill. We will get into the ingredients to success in a little bit, but it is now time for us to play Rapid Fire.
Sweet.
So, 4 questions apiece. Ricky gets 4, I get 4. We're going to go back and forth, and out of the spirit of fairness, I will let you ask me first.
Let's see. If you weren't based out of Cicero, where would you want to be right now, living?
If I wasn't here in Central and Upstate New York, that's a great question. My second home is Florida. I've done a lot of work in Florida, from Tampa and St. Augustine and Jacksonville and Orlando and Kissimmee and so on and so forth, Davie. So I love Florida. I love the Carolinas. Could be something in Long Island.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The good thing about what I do is I believe that wherever I go, it goes.
Yeah.
So I believe it will succeed anywhere.
For sure. I love that attitude.
So, I got the big guy. I got me. That's really, that's really all I need in my briefcase.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My question for you, Ricky, is besides hockey and being a coach, what is one thing you want to achieve in your life?
One certain thing I want to achieve in my life. I would say probably to know that I achieved to have the positive impact on mostly everyone that was around me. And that goes beyond just being one thing, that's just throughout the whole life. And to know, like, towards the end of my life, if I know that, I had positive impacts on mostly everyone that was in my life,
yeah,
I'll feel successful. So that's really my biggest thing, is to be a positive influence, a positive, vibe, and just be the best person I can be around everyone. And obviously, there's going to be ups and downs for that. I'm going to have really good moments for that, and I'm going to have really bad moments. It's about how you react to those moments. Do you keep those relationships based off of those good and bad?
Yeah.
Obviously, based off, our episode today, it's about building relationships and being the best person you can be. So if I know that, maybe I might not have 100 relationships and connections, but if I know that the 50 that I do have are strong and positive, that's how I know I'll achieve that, and that's really my main goal.
So yeah, I could answer that with a job, and you said, whatever I do in and out of professional and personal, I want to make sure that I'm affecting most of the people that I meet in a positive way. Hopefully all of them. You want to make an impact on the world in a positive way. Great way to answer the question.
For sure. All right, so my question to you, if you had to pick one sport to talk about for the rest of your life and the rest of this show, what would it be?
Oh, that's really difficult. I never been asked that question before. I think the first two that came to mind are basketball and football. About one for the rest of my life. My knee jerk would tell me football, because I can talk about all 32 NFL teams without even having to see anything.
Yeah.
But I played basketball and I know the mechanics of it. So I would probably say basketball because of the longevity. Because I know it. I know it inside and out. I know football, but I know basketball. Like I really 2-3, 3-2, box and 1, 1-3-1. Man to man, out of bounds plays, motion, all this stuff. Why is the guy going here? What's this happen with this? The traditional. I love the game, and I love football. But I know basketball. I played from when I was 7, so I guess I would have to pick basketball just because I could, if I was going to talk about it and only that for the rest of my life, analyzing the game is something that, I've done since I was a kid. So
yeah, for sure.
I'd have to pick basketball.
I think you saying love the game, that's the biggest thing. That's what it's all about. Picking something you enjoy. Obviously, you enjoy all sports. That's what, this is all about. But, basketball and, having, Syracuse basketball being so close to us and having that be such a big thing, and New York Knicks and all that good stuff. So it's awesome. Basketball is one of the most popular sports. So
yeah,
it's awesome.
There's a lot of good to it.
Yeah.
My second one for you, Ricky, is you go to Chick-fil-A, like we did when we went to Cicero. What is your, if you could have one meal for the rest of your life and you had to eat the same one at Chick-fil-A every day, what would it be?
Easy.
I like how I said that, I was like, he ready for this.
I love it. It's got to be the chicken sandwich.
Okay.
Chicken sandwich.
Traditional one?
Yeah,
okay.
Not spicy. I'm not a big spicy guy.
Okay.
So it's got to be the sandwich, and you need the Chick-fil-A sauce.
Okay.
The Chick-fil-A sauce with their chicken, it's like they made it their sauce for a reason. It just goes so well. And then the waffle fries, you're making me hungry just thinking about this. But
yeah,
that would be my go-to, and then probably the fruit punch.
Okay, I've never heard that before. Never heard the fruit punch before.
It just goes goes together so well in my mind. So that's might have to go stop by there later today because now I kind of want that chicken.
I feel like I'm
sandwich.
going there now too.
Yeah, I know,
So
right?
I feel like that's where I'm heading.
So to turn around and kind of hit it the other way,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you the same question, but like I know they have a lot of milkshakes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to have a milkshake, which one would you pick there? Because I know they got a good variety there.
Yeah. So at Chick-fil-A, so if it was one that's all year round, it would be the cookies and cream, the Oreo one.
Yeah.
But my favorite one, and I didn't think it would be my favorite because I was like, what am I like chopped up candy cane? The peppermint chip shake that only comes out during Christmas time that has the peppermint and the chocolate chips in it is by far, I could drink it every day.
I've never had that.
It's incredible.
That
And to the
sounds
people that
amazing.
think that it's not like, oh, I don't like pepper, just give it a shot. Because I legitimately thought to myself the same thing. Somebody tried to sell it to me, and I'm like, there's no way. I am so glad that I got it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's the thing is like you just got to try it. you
Yeah.
know? If you never tried it, you wouldn't like it. You wouldn't know
Right.
you liked it. And I feel like, not to keep backtracking, but that goes on, what we've been saying all day is just try it. Go try that opportunity, and whether you like it or not, you can say you did it.
Absolutely. So I think you should all go out. When the peppermint chip comes out, leave some for me and Ricky. But you could go out and get it, definitely the Oreo.
Yeah.
And
The new location too.
Yeah, new location in Clay that we just added here. We have both locations in Central and Upstate New York by the grace of God, by Jim Sikowski and the incredible team. I'm very proud to have Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. So thank you to both teams that are truly making this a pleasure to have you in the community. My third one for you would be... If you could only see one country singer for the rest of your life, who would it be and why?
Oh man. I'd have to say Thomas Rhett.
Thomas Rhett. Okay,
Yeah.
why?
Because I think I kind of have the same aspirations as you, and with the man upstairs,
Yeah.
Thomas Rhett's a big believer in that, and it says it in some of his songs and stuff like that. So he's got the right state of mind. It's not always about the country stereotypes of like fishing and all that, which I love. I love to listen to that. That's what country music's all about.
Yeah.
But it's kind of more spiritual, and he's in a great relationship, and it's healthy. It's just healthy music to listen to, and it kind of inspires me to be a better person, be the best person I can be. And it's good, good vibes. That's what I'm all about. So,
All right. Thomas Rhett. I like it. I can agree with that. And I can appreciate why.
yeah. So my question's going to be, we're going to stay on music.
Okay.
What is your, if you're going to have to listen to something every single day, what type of music are you going after?
Probably country music.
Mm-hmm.
I like hip hop and R&B a lot, but country music you can't really go wrong because to Luke Combs, Luke Bryan, to Thomas Rhett, to Florida Georgia Line, Rascal Flatts, Carrie Underwood, Reba McEntire, to Florida. Did I say Florida Georgia Line? Dan and Shay.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many. Blake Shelton. I think because it's so many.
Yeah.
Not that there's so many in the other ones, but I find that I'm listening to Drake, I'm listening to Mace, I'm listening to Diddy. I get to a point where I'm like, okay, Kendrick Lamar. And then, with R&B, I'm listening to New Edition, I'm listening to Boyz II Men, John Legend. I feel like there's just more in the catalog if I stick with country. Yeah. And it's besides actual Christian music, it's the one place where you can go where they are unapologetically loving their family, loving God, talking about morals and values, and they don't apologize. So I love that.
Yeah, for sure. It's all the right beliefs, and it goes more than just the beat of the music. It's really deeper than that, and that's what life's all about, really. So, and that's our beliefs. A lot of people like different types of music, and that's why there's so many kinds. Because everybody has their kind, and everybody has their reasons for liking it. So, I love country music, and I'm excited to see what country music turns into in the future.
Yeah, me too, for sure. My final question for you has to do with you and I. You can bring me anywhere. You get to plan the day. Where do you take me? What are we doing?
We're gonna go see a sport event. Not sure what sport yet.
Okay.
Probably basketball. We'll go to an NBA game.
Okay.
Because myself, big sport guy, but basketball has always kind of been hard for me to clamp onto. I love watching it, but I kind of don't understand all of it. And like you were saying, the 2-3, the 3-2, the 1-3-2, or something like that. I want to know more about that. So you could show me that in person. So we're going to a basketball game, and I want to go NBA. Because I've been to a college game.
Yeah.
And I love the college atmosphere, but I want to see what the NBA atmosphere is
Where's college
like.
in Syracuse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and that atmosphere is great. I love those games, but I want to go to an NBA game. So that's where we'll go.
Okay. All right. We're going to an NBA game. I'm down for that. I'm ready to go back. So that being said, Ricky Reilly, myself, Dan Tortora, we're going to take one final step aside from the Cafe Kubal studios and wrap up the show right after this. Avicoli's on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, is your place for the monthly exclusive Liverpool Warriors athletic program show hosted by Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We love being out there with the community, the kids and the coaches, and all that we get to do at Avicoli's. They are the place. Oh my gosh, veal parmesan, the margarita pizza, so many different reasons why you should head out to Avicoli's. Outdoor seating and indoor fine dining, and indoor kind of more relaxed pizza side, and a bar. It's essentially 4 restaurants in one, right at the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, supporting our neighborhood right down the road. Canine Campground Dog Boarding on 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse is the place for you to go to trust your animal in the hands of people that treat that dog as if it's their own. They have their own cabin. Some of them have TVs. They have outside turf. They have places to play and games to do with the dogs. Their job all day is to play with your dog and help them to feel loved and appreciated. They also screen everybody that comes in to make sure that the dogs are safe and that they can play together. So you should have peace of mind. And when you go to Canine Campground Dog Boarding, you get exactly that, as well as at the Canine Camp Dog Daycare right down the road on 228 Old Bridge Street, also in East Syracuse. PB&J's Lunchbox, a proud new partner of ours we're so happy to have. It all started with a grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's all it was. Artisan bread, peanut butter and jelly, and roasted pecans cut up and added in there for some extra flavor and a little bit of crunch to your grilled PB&J. From the Philly cheesesteak to their corn chowder to all the specials that they have, the brownies. PB&J's Lunchbox is a place that I feel like should be featured worldwide. People from all over the country and all over the world should come to see this place because the way that it is run by Sue and Pat is so special. The love that they have for cooking and designing things and putting them together. I love the fact that if you like traditional food and you're very simple, you can get it there. But if you like to kind of go outside the box and jump into something cool and different, it's like a renaissance of food. Find your way to 663 Old Liverpool Road to their new location right there in Liverpool, New York. Minutes from Destiny USA, the Thruway, the Highway, and Onondaga Lake Parkway. And of course, Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, the place that I have trusted for years in Skinny Atlas to help me personally, because as you know on this show, I can't talk about it unless I am about it. You can call them at 315-685-7544 to make an appointment, and their location is 791 West Genesee Street in Skinny Atlas, New York. Right by the water and tremendous places to walk and to eat. If you're looking to help yourself toward a positive future, look no further than Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. They listen to the patients, they care about their patients, and they always want to help you go one step forward, never a step backward, and to let you know that they work in preventative care. So yes, they'll do surgery and they'll work on different things, but they also want to give you the information and the wherewithal that you will be able to take care of your body preemptively so that you can protect yourself from having to have surgery. Dr. Mark Petropoli and his entire staff welcome your phone call at Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics at 315-685-7544. With that being stated, back in the Cafe Kubal studios, inside of this awesome special to start off June with Ricky Reilly, Ricky, I can only tell you, I can't wait. I want to have you back again. I want to do some stuff on the road with you. I kind of want to do some fun, Ricky and DT stuff. I see some cool stuff going
Yeah,
on.
for sure. I'm willing to get on anytime you want. So I'd love to be back in the future, and it wouldn't be our first rodeo, and I look forward to the future. That'd be awesome.
Shout out to CNS and the Cicero Chill. And the final piece of today's show, I'm leaving in the hands of Ricky Reilly. The ingredients to success, proudly brought to you by Avicoli's on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York. You can get in touch with them. You could go to see them all throughout the week. They're closed on Mondays, so Tuesday through Sunday. You can see them for lunch, dinner, and drinks by going out to the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool. You can also call them for takeout, delivery, and catering at 315-622-5100. And you could go to myavocolis.com as well to handle everything online. So the ingredients to success every Tuesday to round out the show. We create a topic in the moment and give you the ingredients to success. I'm going to hand it to Ricky to give you today's topic and his ingredients. Go ahead, Ricky.
So the topic today is going to be coaching. Coaching is a lot about personality. It's a lot about traits. It's a lot about, who you are as a person and reflecting that on, who's under you. Take every single, person or player who's underneath you and trying to get advice from you. And, everyone's different. So you have to find certain ways to work with each and every person. So my first ingredient to success would be kind of variety. Having variety to know, you have to explain things in different ways. You have to be, show who you are in different ways. You have to explain how to do a certain thing in different ways. Everyone's a different learner. Me, I'm a visual and hands-on learner versus, some people who might be I read a textbook to learn how to do this, or I do this way and stuff like that. So that's really my first thing. The next thing for an ingredient to success is patience. You can't get anywhere in teaching or coaching or role modeling or how being a leader and leadership without patience. If you don't have that patience to wait up for someone who might be a slower learner or someone who hasn't developed the skill yet to be to the next step yet. So patience is huge for me. Myself, I used to not be a very patient person. But coaching and teaching, and that helped me get that skill because I know it's needed to be a successful coach and learner or a teacher. And like I said, it's a two-way street. If you're gonna have patience for someone, they need to have patience for you.
Yeah.
If you have a team full of different learners, you need to have a team full of variety of patience. If the kid who's a really fast learner is not patient, you're gonna be butting heads here because that kid's gonna be learning or wanting to learn the next step, and they gotta wait for their teammate so that we can all become a team and all be able to really come together, and that's how you be successful. So I would say my last and final ingredient to success is having that drive to get better each and every day. If you don't have that motivation, if you don't have that want to get better, then you're better off just not coaching because all that's going to teach these kids is that it's not needed. You don't need to have that motivation. You don't need to have that want to get better, because if you don't have that, then the kids aren't, and then your team's not going to grow. The player's not going to grow. You're not going to grow as a coach, as a teacher. Yeah. So, having that is really huge to become the best person and best, coach you could be. There's more ingredients, and you'll find that as you go on. It's all about personal stuff, and it's really about who you are as a coach, who you are as a teacher. And I keep bringing up teaching because it's more than just coaching. it's out of world stuff. It's being that role model and stuff like that. So, it's beyond, just a conversation here. It's really who you are as a person, what you believe in, and that's why there's so many good coaches in this world, because they're all different. It's who do you want to play for? Who do you want to be as a teacher, as a player, as a coach, and that's why there's variety in this world.
The ingredients to success on coaching, brought to you this time by Ricky Reilly, inside of the ingredients to success every Tuesday here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora to round out the show. Proudly presented by Avicoli's on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York. You can find them there Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. And of course, you can find them by calling 315-622-5100. That's 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. And you can go to myavicoli's.com. That's AVICOLLIS.com. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is live for you Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Facebook.com/LiveNowDT, Facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.com's homepage, the hub of everything Wake Up Call, and on MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT. You can also find us in the archives after the show goes live. You can get the archive of over 1,500 shows on Podbean. You can also carry those shows on TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and MixLR to get the latest shows of Wake Up Call. And of course, a special thanks to all of our Central and Upstate New York partners: Cafe Cabal, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Chick-fil-A Clay and Chick-fil-A Cicero, Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, Avicoli's, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, PB&J's Lunchbox, Honda City of Liverpool, Pizza Man, Canine Campground, Dog Boarding, the Millhouse Market, and Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. And as you see, every single broadcast right up here in the corner, what's poppin', you can see that you can use the promo code DT20, and anywhere in the country, if you order for in-store pickup for those in the community, or you have it delivered to any one of the 50 states, all you have to do is go to maandpaspopcorn.com, pick your flavor, pick what you want to put it in, including the refillable buckets that have lifetime refills at half price, and use my promo code DT20 for 20% off all online orders at maandpaspopcorn.com. With all of that being said, this has been Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and I'm very proud and honored, Ricky, that you spent the whole show with us.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here, and great time and great discussion. Really good discussion. I think we covered a lot of good topics, and I hope the people who listened took something away from it, and I look forward to being back.
Ricky Reilly, Dan Tortora, inside the Cafe Cabal Studios. This has been a Wake Up Call special. Thank you so much for tuning in, and go support Ricky and everyone with the Cicero Chill today.